Hi. Oh my gosh, it's Sunday night. It's 7 o'clock, not 6 o'clock. I usually come in at 6 o'clock, but tonight I was just hanging out with some friends. It's a beautiful night here in Los Angeles. And I feel like with more and more of the COVID restrictions being lifted, it just feels so good to hang out with friends. So I had a wonderful time hanging out. But tonight's topic, I think, is a fascinating one. Tonight, I wanted to talk about the energy of money and the stories we create about it. How does it come to be? Where do we get these stories? And how they affect us. So wherever you are, glad to have you join me tonight. It's Moffitt Talks. Tonight, we're talking at the earliest stages around money mindset and your emotional, the stories we create around money. So when I grew up, my parents were definitely middle of the road. We were blue collar. My dad was a blue collar worker, worked for United Airlines. Actually, I guess he was more white collar, but we were definitely not wealthy by any means, but we had our everything taken care of. I mean, all of our basic needs taken care of. But when I was 12, my parents divorced, and my mom, of course, at that time, she took care of me. And things definitely changed. And what I recognize now over years of understanding her and actually deep conversations on the topic, my mom had a terrible relationship with money because her experience of it when she was growing up was that her mother, my grandmother, coveted money, not just loved money, but coveted money, and made it known to my mother that her things and things that money could buy were actually more important than her daughter, my mom, or at least that's how my mom perceived it. So when my mom got older, she really had no use for money. She wanted to just, if she got it, she just wanted to get it through her fingers as quickly as possible because she didn't want to make the same mistakes she perceived my grandmother made around money. She didn't want to covet. She didn't want to make that money more important than relationships. And so my mom, love her to death, just had a terrible relationship with money. And I think she would admit that as well. Really didn't know how to save it, how to spend it wisely, and still kind of suffers through that experience. So that was my experience growing up with her. And I recognize my earliest memories of money where I always loved to save it. I was a kid who, if you gave me a nickel, I wanted to put it into my Mickey Mouse penny bank. And I would save everything. And I remember with vivid recollection being about 5 years old and watching my brother take a hammer to my Mickey Mouse bank and break it open so he could get the money inside of it. And I was devastated. And I think that story, I learned about that story of like, I just wanted to save money. Not that I can't spend it, but I really love tucking money away. And growing up with a mom who really didn't know how to save money, so there would be many times when I'd come home and the electricity was turned off or we didn't have water. And my life definitely shifted after my parents divorced from one of relative security to relative insecurity financially, not knowing how we were going to make ends meet. So I got a job at a young age, 15, 16. I started working. I worked all through high school into my college years. I paid rent to my mom as soon as I turned 18. So there was always like this money story that was in my family, that money felt scarce and money felt like it could just disappear easily. So that was a story, intergenerational story that I got. And I learned very quickly that I like to save money, and money felt like security to me. And my money attitude has shifted over the years. Still love to save money, but also I recognize now my energy around money is one that Ken Honda, who is a Japanese investor and money educator, would say is happy money. So he has a term called happy money. And it's money that we feel happy about receiving, meaning that we've either done good work to receive it, we feel proud of the work we've done, we've provided great value. That's happy money coming in. And it's money that we feel happy to spend. I feel really confident, like when I spend money, and I'm fairly generous with people who are in my circle, and I have no problem spending money on experiences and not so much on things. I love experiences, so I'll spend money happily. But also I'll spend money on things that I need to spend money on, like taxes and my business structure, all of that. Hi, Tom. So I consider myself having a happy relationship with money. Now, the flip side of that would be a frustrated relationship with money. And that's an emotional relationship with money where you receive money and you're thinking, is that all there is? Why aren't I getting paid more? I can't believe I should get paid more, or why can't I get a raise? That we have these stories around money. And on the flip side of it, when we spend money, we don't like the fact that we have to spend money on things like taxes or rent, or everything is too high. So that feels like a frustrated relationship with money. Now, at the core of all this is that money is really, the idea of it is an energy exchange. You know this, that sometimes when you're flush enough to give money to someone who's less fortunate than you, it feels good. There is an exchange when that happens. And when you sometimes receive money, like if you were to receive money from someone who passed away, someone you love dearly, and they remembered you in their will and they gave you or left you money, that there might be some loving feelings around that money. Money, an exchange of money, if we can think about it, is a very energetic experience. And how you shape your views of money certainly are created from all of our experiences in the past, what we bring in, but it can change. Now, I talk to lots of new coaches who really get wrapped up around this idea of money and who get scared about asking for what they're worth, or asking for coaching, being paid for coaching, or increasing their prices. We all have kind of these odd stories around money and what we think it means to other people and to ourselves. Because the reality is, there's three things that can sometimes block the energy flow of money coming in and out. And the first one is just guilt. You feel guilt when you receive it. You feel guilt to even ask for money. Again, like as a coach, you're trying to provide a service and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to provide. I don't want to ask for this, right? Mm-hmm. I love it, Tom. Tom says, I have abandonment issues with my money and don't have any, right? The second one then is sometimes we can have a shyness around money, that we're like, we push it away. We're not worthy of it. It feels like an unworthy around receiving money. And then the third thing that can often block energetically money is that, and I see this come up quite a bit, is that we feel like we need to be seen as a good person. And boy, I feel a lot of conversations around, capitalism and about very wealthy people and the wrong that they're doing, and that somehow we're associating asking for money for what we offer, what we provide, as if it's going to put us into the billionaire status. But we want to be seen as a good person, and nice people don't talk about money, or nice people don't do such and such a things. And these are the stories that we create for ourselves around money that can block it from coming into us and block it from us being able to do what we want with it. My friend and acquaintance, Andrew Moss, he has such a great thing that he does. He's a great coach. And one of the things that he does, and I think he just started this year, is joined an organization called the 1%. It's not what you think. It's actually looking at ahead of the year, looking at how can they donate at least 1% of what they make to specific charities. And I think this is a great shift for any of us when we think energetically about money. Not just what can we do with money coming in, but how can I plan for and look ahead to what can I do with my money that I can give away energetically? How can I help people with the money that I earn? Boy, this money mindset thing can really trip up a lot of people, and I get it. And the one word that comes up for probably 80% of the people that I talk to who want to start a new business, who want to become a coach, who want to create something, you know what that word is? Freedom. And freedom usually means for them a financial freedom, a time freedom, a space freedom, freedom to create what they want, where they want, when they want. And at the core of that, there's a bit of money that's needed to be able to do that. And there's a block that gets in their way from them actually doing it. So I'm going to talk a lot about this week in the blog and next week. And on June 23rd, I'm going to offer up a money mindset, managing your money mindset course, workshop. And this time it's free, y'all. I'm talking about money, and I just want everyone to come in and really help themselves around this. So we're going to have a great conversation on June 23rd with Moffitt Talk Lives. I'll put the link here in the Facebook Live if you're interested in coming to that. And again, if you've ever been to one of my workshops, it's a fun experience. It's usually very casual. We get to have conversations around it. There's always a workbook that you can work from. And especially this particular topic, I think is really important for people to look at what is the story that they're telling themselves about money. Money is a value exchange. So if you think, oh gosh, I'm not sure if I'm not getting the money that I think I'm worth, let's take a look at what is the value that you're bringing, first of all, and what is the story that you have? What is the mindset that you have that may be blocking you from actually being able to do what you want to be able to do? So that's Sunday Night Talks here. So glad anyone hung out with me. Thank you so much, Tom. Wherever you are on this beginning of summer, I hope you are in a place that you can actually step out and enjoy some of it. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.